I mean, are we really surprised that I'm a cat? Hello, friends! Welcome back. Nice to see you guys again. So for today's video, it is much different than what you guys are used to. And I really wanted to do this video because by the time this comes out, Halloween is tomorrow, and Halloween is my favorite holiday, so I really wanted to put out a video. I'm a little nervous putting this out in the world, but you know, it's spooky time and I thought it'd be the perfect time to do it. So, as you guys saw from the title, this video is about my scariest paranormal experience. Okay, so to elaborate on that, I am what you call a sensitive. That means I can see a lot of things that other people do not see, and I'm also more inclined to see them. And that means like ghosts, spirits, figures, yeah. And I could potentially see more than I do right now, and that's something that I am thinking about working on, but it terrifies me to work on that because you do not know what you are inviting in your life. It could be of light, it could be of dark, you do not know. And so I just want to put a disclaimer: if anybody does anything around the paranormal, just tread lightly because you do not know what you are inviting. Okay, that's over with. So let me just say, the first time that I actually saw a spirit, it was actually my dog. And that's actually a good introduction to seeing the paranormal. When I was in, I think middle school, I think it was middle school or the end of elementary school, I've always had animals, and the first animal I had was a dog. His name was Nico. He was an Akita. He lived to be 16 years old, and then he unfortunately passed. I think it was like maybe at least a month after he passed. We had a really big backyard in Georgia, and that's where he would be because he was our guard dog. But of course we would let him inside, but he really enjoyed being in the back because it was like a huge open space. So I remember seeing him and just walking around, and I'm like, but he's not living. And so that's when I actually told my mom, I was like, I know this sounds weird, but I still see Nico in the back. And she's like, I do too. So she is the one where I get my gift from. I mean, a couple people in my family, they experience it, but I think I mostly get it from my mom. It could be from being Native American Indian. That could be it. Maybe. Who knows? But so gotten that out of the way. So here is my scariest one. So I think I'm going to start from the beginning, but it's going to be kind of like jumping back and forth a little bit, just a little bit, not much. So in middle school, my sister and my best friend at the time, we were going to be going to Six Flags. And if you do not know what Six Flags is, it's this big amusement park that's filled with like mostly roller coasters, I think. But it's typical amusement park. I was super excited to go to Six Flags the next day, and so when I went to bed, I could not go to sleep because, you know, you're a child and you're going to be going to an amusement park, so it's exciting. And at this time, my parents, they are separated, and my dad was actually staying in the guest bedroom, which was connected to mine. And it was like in the AM, it was still dark, and I was trying to go to sleep, and I started hearing banging on his side. And I just assumed he was just in the closet, like doing something, because his closet was directly next to my bed. And so I just didn't think anything of it. Elliot, can you, you're being so loud. Come here, lay down. Okay, sorry. Got him in my lap. So his closet was right next to my bed, and so that's why I really heard it. But I just didn't think anything of it. So the next day, my sister, my best friend, and I, we spent the whole day at Six Flags, and we didn't come back till it was nighttime. And my sister, she was driving me, and so we drive down our driveway. And then all of a sudden, I saw something like a black mist almost fly out of my dad's bedroom. And then and we were in a 2-story house. It flew out of his bedroom, came to the ground, and then we had a big fence to our backyard, and the thing just like grew into a man and started walking away from our house. And I just remember I felt really bad, like this really bad energy coming from it. And my sister, she can't see any of these things. And I just remember saying, Jelly, there is something there at the fence. It's not good. I need you to quickly shut off your car, and we need to just book it into the house. And so we quickly ran into the house. And then when we got in, we found my mom, my dad, and then my mom's friend, who also knew about like spirits and how to deal with like bad energy and everything like that. And it turns out that what I was hearing that morning technically, was my dad getting thrown against the wall. And the reason why something flew out of the window was because they were anointing everything and getting the bad energy out of the house. Sorry, having makeup. Your nose is makes your nose very itchy. I told them what I saw, and then, you know, everything connected. Flash to now. Don't worry, I'm coming back to that. I'm coming back. I think it was actually this year. Yes, my scariest experience was this year. I didn't know, like, I forgot about that whole experience. Like, I didn't really think anything of it. And I'm also somebody who, like, when they are sleeping, I get a lot of things coming into my dreams, and it can also be like I predict things that happen. Bad things come into my head, and it's not great. Just want to say that. Okay, so I was sleeping, and in my dream, at the edge of my bed, a figure of a man just all of a sudden like appeared. It was almost like I woke up inside of my dream, and a figure of a man was there at the very end of my bed, and he had like a trench coat. It like looked like a trench coat, but he was all black. Like everything was black, even his face, his clothes, everything. So it almost looked like a trench coat, and then he had kind of like a top hat. It looked like a top hat. And I'm somebody who knows that they are dreaming when they are in their dream. Forgot what it's called. If you want to say what it is, say it. And so I immediately like woke myself up. But the thing is, in actual reality, the figure was still there. And I was just laying in my bed, basically paralyzed, because when you wake up, you expect something in your dream to just be gone. But there he was, still at the end of my bed. And I was just staring at him for, it seemed like a good minute, but it probably wasn't. And then all of a sudden, he disappeared. It was terrifying, but because I am used to these type of things, even though that is the scariest thing, I'm like, I'm just going to try to calm myself down, because when you show fear, it allows things to come in better, because it's a weakness to them, and so they're like, I can get in. So I calmed myself down, and then I went back to sleep. And then a couple days later, I was doing laundry and something, and if you guys saw my Chloe Ting video, you know that I listened to the podcast Two Girls, One Ghost. Highly recommend them still. They're great, so check them out. I was introduced to them actually by my sister. And so I told my sister about this like the day after it happened. And she was like, but I didn't even really think anything with like the hat, the clothes, or anything. I was just like, there was a dark figure, almost like it was so tall, like a man or something, at the end of my bed. And so she actually called me, and she's like, hey, remember when you said something about like a tall figure of a man at the end of your bed? And I'm like, yeah, why? And she's like, did this man happen to have a hat? And I was like, how did you know that? Like, you should know that. And she was like, I was actually listening to Two Girls, One Ghost, and apparently there's this thing called the Hat Man. And I'm like, what? And so she sent me the podcast, because I'm still catching up to Two Girls, One Ghost, so she's ahead of me, and so she got to it before me. And I listened to it, and the description was exactly what I saw. And just to confirm it, I just looked it up online to just make sure, because apparently the Hat Man is, a lot of people, not a lot, but a good bit of people have seen the Hat Man. And so I'm like, well, if a good bit have seen it, then maybe I can like just confirm. And so I looked it up, and I kid you not, it was the exact guy. Thing, it, don't really know. And when I was listening to the podcast, nobody truly knows what the Hat Man is. And so I guess the unknown for that is really terrifying. I don't even know if he will come back. Don't come back, please. I don't want you. Just saying that. But one thing that they said is, if somebody sees it in your family, then another person has seen it as well. I wasn't sure, because I'm like, I don't think anybody in our family has seen it. And then all of a sudden it's just like Jimmy Neutron, like, think. Think. Holy crap. That is the thing that I saw fly out of my dad's bedroom. Like, as I said before, it grew into a tall man, and he had like a hat. This figure, it's so tall, so tall, at least 6 feet, at least. I don't know if my dad has seen it. I actually haven't ask him about it because it's just something that, I don't know. I don't know. I just haven't. But the thing is, I think I could see it now is because the thing wasn't directed towards me back then. I remember like he wasn't even looking my way, even though I saw him, but I still did not feel good seeing him, and so I wanted to go into the house, but it was exactly that same man. So I haven't seen him again, thankfully, and I hope I do not. But it was really terrifying. And yeah, that is it for that story. If you guys want to see more videos on my paranormal experience, then leave it down in the comments. I love the paranormal, as you saw from my intro video. I love ghosty things. And I guess that's it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this face, click subscribe and then ring that notification bell for more videos every other Friday. And I wish everyone a happy Halloween if you celebrate it. If you don't, then have a great day, I guess. Alright, you guys. Have courage and be kind and keep it spooky. Bye.